What is going on, sports card fiends? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we're here with a video on why I don't think Christian Pulisic is the future for the US men's national team, or actually more so why I don't think he has to be the future of the US men's national team for it to succeed. For soccer cards to do well, for the US men's national team to get the hype and publicity that it will deserve in my mind, I don't think Pulisic has to be there. And for those that follow the US men's national team closely, you might think that that is a reasonable thing to say. I would believe so. But for those that maybe don't follow them as closely and maybe you're just viewing from afar, I think that's somewhat jarring, because the last time that I think average people saw the US men's national team was in 2018 and getting knocked out of the World Cup. And so then you go from there and you're like, all right, well, Christian Pulisic would grow. He's got all this hype and the team couldn't even make a World Cup. So we'll see where they get in 2022. You know, I even see some people that are like, will we make it? I'm not really sure. And to me, I barely even see it as a question of will we make it, because I am so confident in the growth of the US men's national team youth over the last year or two. I just think it is beyond what anyone could have expected. Even the pessimists within the US men's national team community, they really just agree too, and they think that this is a new era. And I think it's hard to get everyone on the same page like that, and to have seen that, it's pretty convincing, I think. So I'm going to make the argument as well as to why Christian Pulisic doesn't need to be the end-all be-all for soccer cards. I think that just across the board, soccer cards, there are not enough of them for the potential hype that the US men's national team will get in the next 2 to 6 years, with the World Cup coming up in about a year and a half, and then the 2026 World Cup, where we will be hosting it, so it'll just be chaos in my mind. Will the card market be the same? That who knows, but I mean, the hype for US men's national team soccer will be at an all-time high. So pretty exciting stuff. I just think everyone looks at this Christian Pulisic and they're like, you know, that's it. That's the future. You know, again, the average person's probably going to think that. It's a pretty OC on the back. I'm disappointed in that. But beyond that, I don't think that that is all that the US men's national team is. If you've been in the loop, Giovanni Reyna is essentially the Christian Pulisic replacement. Not in the sense that he does the same things as Christian Pulisic, because they are different players, of course, and you know, Pulisic's better at attacking and quick and just movement, and Gio Reyna is more of a possession, really helps your team build from the midfield. And Gio Reyna is 18, playing for Dortmund, and has a price tag of 40, 50 million, something like that. Sounds pretty familiar. Kind of down the same line again as Christian Pulisic, and that's kind of how people see him, because I mean, at this point of his career, we don't see a lot of that with US men's national team players. I mean, even Weston McKennie going to Juve and doing really well, he's a bit older and a bit more proven, I think. Gio Reyna is kind of someone that, I mean, I knew about, but even I was surprised how much he has played this year for Dortmund and how well he has looked. So Gio Reyna is essentially a replacement of the same type that you could get with Pulisic, but he's not a replacement, again, in terms of necessarily their skills. So there is something different there, but across the board, I think that Gio Reyna could play on either wing for us. And then I also think that Timothy Weah, got a bunch of Timothy Weah. I am a big fan. I even have a Twitter Stan account. That's my only Twitter account, because I just like talking shit about US men's national team on Twitter, and gotta rep my man, Tim Weah. So I think, I mean, he could be the future for us. A couple years ago, before his injuries, people were talking about him as potentially the highest upside player for us, and then some hamstring tears, and here we are down the line. But he has been healthy this year, and he has gotten back to essentially a starting role. It looks like he's started in the last 2 Europa games, so I think that's where he's getting. They kind of worked him back in slowly, and he's been doing really well. And I think what he offers for us is really what Greg Berhalter is going to want, because Greg Berhalter wants so much cutting in behind, just spacing out the defense, stretching the team apart, and that is what Weah offers. I mean, he is endlessly just trying to find that spot where he can just get out in the open and really test the defense. And I think he fits perfectly what we would want from a winger. So again, I think that Reyna could play one side, Weah could play the other, and I think we'd be fine. And that eliminates Pulisic, because essentially he would be on the left wing, and I think we could play without him. But even beyond that, there's value in the team, even at striker. I think that Josh Sargent, if you're looking for cards, I mean, all of these guys are relatively cheap. If you compare them to football or basketball or any other sport, these guys are insanely cheap, and that is why I just see it as so much value, because at the end of the day, the money that comes into U.S. men's national team soccer is only going to flow into about 6 to 7 guys. Maybe a couple subs, but I mean, there's not that many places for people to go. They're not going to dig that far in. So if you have those guys, I think there's just a ton of upside. And for someone like Josh Sargent, I am a big fan, big proponent. He hasn't had the best season with Werder Bremen, but I mean, when you watch him, they're kind of like what Schalke was for a lot of U.S. men's national team fans. Now we watch a lot of Schalke too because of Hoppe, but I mean, Schalke is just horrible to watch. There's not a lot going offensively, and really you're just watching an attacker defend. But that actually is what Josh Sargent is so good at. He is really good at defending, very good with the middle of the field build-up play to get into attack, and that is also what Greg Berhalter wants. So I personally think that Sargent and Weah are the most undervalued, highest upside guys that you can get in terms of the soccer card market right now for U.S. men's national team players. But even just as players, I think that if we went into any high-level tournament with Reyna, Sargent, and Weah up top in 2 to 6 years, I feel really, really confident. And I would have never have thought before that we could have had, a top 3 that didn't include Pulisic where I would feel good. And that just is where we're at now. And beyond that, we have grown in other aspects of the team. We also have Serginho Dest now, which I am just so excited about. He is, so fun to watch for Barca, and what he could do with our attackers going forward. I'm already so excited about the front 3, so to then have an attacking wing back that can just come in and really help all of those guys succeed up top. It's just what you want to see, and I couldn't be more excited going forward, because we even have, crazy attacking defenders now that are just coming out of nowhere. Now, he wasn't, he wasn't born in America, so people might get upset, but that also is another aspect. We're getting into the territory where we can actually get people that, might not have been born in America, raised in America, and have that nationalism running through them. They might just have a small little smidge of it, and they might want to play for us because we're promising. And that's the nice part. It's kind of like how we're not anywhere close, so I'm not going to compare it, but it's like how when Dortmund has so many young players that are getting time, getting minutes, people see that and they want to go there and they want to thrive with that system. Now, if people start to see our young talent thriving within our system, I'm not going to say, we're at the same level and going to, get all these guys on our team, but we'll get some. And that's kind of the other factor that goes into this. We have some Yunus Musa as well. Big fan of Musa. I'm a big fan of all of these guys because, again, I didn't see this type of talent at all coming within the last few years. I would have never imagined this. And now we have a 3-person midfield where Reyna's not even in it. In reality, Reyna's probably in our midfield, but if Reyna's out on the wing and he's taking Pulisic's spot in theory, then you could still have Tyler Adams as the center defensive mid, and then Weston McKennie and Yunus Musa on the more attacking sides of the midfield. And with that front 3 and those 3 in the middle of the field, I just think that is a great team going into the distant future. Musa's so young too that even 2026, these guys won't be fully grown. So I just, man, it's crazy. Now, Musa, there's no guarantee. He's not cap tied. He can do whatever he pleases. And if he wants to go to England, or I don't know if he has any other choices, but he can do so. And so, you don't want to get too attached or buy too much of that, but you do want to just dabble a little bit in case, they really start looking the part. Musa looks incredibly good. And even beyond that, we have talent that even stems younger. And again, on the dual national side of things, I doubt even that we're going to get him, but someone like Efrain Alvarez, a lot of hype, but just, an example of a Mexican talent that is possibly considering the U.S. And I don't want I don't want to start anything with El Tri fans, but you get the idea. We have other talent, and we might be able to get people from other nations, which honestly we weren't doing a lot of in the past. So I'm not saying that we will get these guys, they're going to thrive, but the potential's there. And as you start to add up all these small kind of, 1% of blowing up player, 2% of blowing, and just once you grab all those small percentages of great players and just corral them, you really start to up your odds at it overall. So that is why I think that the U.S. men's national team card market and just future as a team is not dependent on Christian Pulisic. I know that he will help us and hopefully can help us going forward, but I just don't think that our success is going to directly stem from Christian Pulisic's success with the U.S. men's national team. I think that they're correlated, but I don't think that they are hand in hand. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to tell me, let me know in a comment down below. And on top of that, if you want to see more videos like this as soon as they go live, make sure to subscribe. And with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.